Lucky me. If they want my spot, then they gotta come for me. Just know I want this shit more than whatever it is you want from me. And the only thought at night that comforts me is starving whoever.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You guys are rolling with The Journey. Thank you all for joining us today on our weekly podcast entitled The Journey. This is a new week and a new experience on this day in the struggle of the life of The Journey. And I'm glad you guys are here. Before we get rolling, I do have to share. Thank you for everybody who's been checking out the podcast and checking us out on YouTube. You can see the live recording of it on YouTube. Maybe a little bit more cooler. I don't know. Maybe you want some facial expressions, whatever the case is. But it is on YouTube. JC Movement, The Journey. Here's the weekly thing or whatever the case is. So thank you all for your viewers. Please share and like these podcasts. Send them to somebody. Let them also expose them to something new or what you're learning. Just have dialogue about it. If you ever want us to do a different topic, you can go to jcmovement.org. Shoot us an email. Let us know, and we'll research it, look it up, and we'll bring it to you so we can talk about it on The Journey. JC Movement Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit organization organized for charitable, education, scientific, and religious purposes. We have a couple of programs that we're rolling with now, and we're excited about those programs. The support is needed, so any donations, we are truly grateful. Any resources, we are truly grateful because that helps the organization continue to move, continue to grow so we can help more people. If you ever wanted to donate, just go to jcmovement.org, hit that donate button. Also, you can cash app JC Movement 77. And we just really greatly appreciate that. All right, so let's get into it. I ain't got a lot of time. I don't think I'm keeping y'all long today. So this week on The Journey, I was dealing with, I wanted to quit everything. Those moments happen for me a lot. Like, I really get tired. I get burnt out. I get tired of trying to build this organization, build this business, be a good uncle, be a good teacher, be a good man. Like, I get so tired of trying to be great, trying to be amazing. But you can't really quit. You got to continue to keep going. So our topic for today is Lucky Me, I am the chosen one. Lucky me, I am the chosen one. And shout out to Big Sean. Big Sean just released his Detroit 2 album, and this is kind of where I got this inspiration from of Lucky Me. It's a track on the song, but yeah, it's really where we're coming from. Lucky me, I am the chosen one. Because even the fact that I wanted to quit. Like Friday, I had an event. We had some goals, whatever the case is. And there's always parts of it that I just don't sit well with me. I don't like this or I don't like that. And I just want to say, you know what? Forget it. It's a wrap for me. I'm done with it. And I hit up one of my friends, and I try my best to surround myself with people who are going to pour into my spirit, pour into me as an individual, as a man, because all of your friends or people you call friends or associates, some people don't know how to pour into you, but they expect for you to pour into them. So it's good to surround yourself with people who can pour into you and also you pour into them. So I hit up one of my friends. We were just talking, and I was just telling her how, I'm just about to quit or give it up. And she was telling me, she was like, you know what, I had a dream the other day, whatever the case is. And in the dream, God was telling her that, what are you crying for? Are you crying because you're about to quit? Or are you crying because you're about to keep going? And when she told me that, man, it just kind of like hit with me and stuck with me really hard, because it's like, I'm not about to quit. Even though I'm tired, I know I'm not about to quit. I know I'm not about to give up. I know I'm not about to stop. I'm really frustrated and upset because I'm getting doing these things and getting these results, but they're not the results that I want. It's not what I'm envisioning. It's not what I'm believing yet. because I'm in the process of this journey to get to where I want. But even though I'm here right now, I know for a fact that I'm not gonna quit because I've dedicated too much hours and too much time. I've prayed, I've believed, I've hoped, I've built, I've created, I've done so much and given so much energy into this that I know for a fact I'm not about to just say it's a wrap. Like, I'm not about to throw in the towel. Yeah, I'm tired. I'll take a little break and sleep, but best believe we about to jump back in and we're about to go at it. So with that, I was led to this scripture that was found in John 15, verse 16, which it says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you so that you might go bear fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give it to you." All right, and let's look at the symbolisms. Again, one thing I want you guys to understand about me and how I understand the Bible is I get the wisdom from it. I understand the Bible is a literature book. So you have to understand literature and what that really means. So this whole thing about fruit, it's a symbolism. So you have to understand the symbol or the metaphor, whatever you want to call it. There is actual terms for them that you want to get from it. So when it's talking about bearing fruit, it's this whole thing about what are you producing? What are you doing? I chose you to bear fruit, so you have to grow something. What are you growing? What are you producing? What are you doing? What are you bearing? What is the fruit of your life that you are producing in this life? So when it says I didn't choose you, I chose you, that means you are handpicked to do something. You, not anyone else. So don't ride the coattail of anyone else because God chose you. He picked you to do a particular thing. All right, so one definition that I want to look at is the definition for choose, which is chosen. It's just the reciprocal part of it. But the word choose or chosen is having been selected as the best or most appropriate person or thing. That's what choosing or chosen is. Having been selected as the best or most appropriate. That's crazy when you think about it in a sense. Because I know we'll look at this, or especially Christians will look at this and they say, oh, Jesus Christ is the chosen one. Yeah, don't let your mind go too deep in there. You understand that you are chosen. God chose you. He chose you to do something. Everybody who's watching this video, you probably clicked on this video because you felt in your heart that God is choosing you to do something big in the world. If he didn't, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. But if you feel led to say, man, I do feel like I'm the chosen one for my family. I do feel like I'm the chosen one for my generation. I do feel like I'm the chosen one for my school. I feel like I'm the chosen one of my brothers and my sisters. There's something that God has hand selected you for because he feels that you are the best selection and the one who's the most appropriate to do it. The thing about that is that it don't always feel good to be the chosen one. The chosen one is the one who goes and deals through a lot of pain. It's the one who's always alone. It's the one who I ain't never got enough money. It's the one I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough support. You want me to do something so big that I don't even qualify for? How do you want me to do this when I don't even know what to do? That's usually the one who's chosen to do it. The one that's chosen to do it is the one who's either A, going to trust God, or is going to be the one to figure it out because you're not going to give up. And that's the reason why you were chosen. Because if you were not chosen, you weren't not even going to feel the pain that it has to go through to give it. Because a lot of people give up. They give up quick. They give up easy, especially when it's hard. Even like I said Friday, I felt tired. I wanted to give up. But I'm not going to give up because I've been chosen to do it. And a lot of people who make it sound good as if like, oh yeah, you're chosen to birth this or do this or whatever the case is, and it's going to be easy or you'll feel like you're in place. Yeah, that's not necessarily true. At least for me and what I've been chosen to do with my purpose. It's not been an easy walk because I have not always had the resources. I have not always had the tools. I have always had the education to build and grow and do something that has been in my heart or my purpose for me to do. Some of you may be the first people in your own family to actually go to college. You may not have had even of the resources to understand how to take the ACT, the SAT, or even what college is and where it could take you or what it could get you. You may not even have the know about of what major to actually go or what to do. Some of you may be the first people in your family who are breaking generation curses of eating unhealthy, breaking generation curses of being financially broke all the time. Some of you may be breaking the curses of just whatever is on your family and on your life that you see the reputation of your family just being stuck in. And he's chosen you to be the person to say, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that. You can be the one who can break this and do something different. So I'm choosing you. I'm selecting you to be the one who is the best choice and most appropriate to do it. That's big. That's really big. And if you really want to look at it, you can look at it in a sense and say, man, God really sees me. God selected me to actually do something so huge, so big. And then you'll start thinking out, but why? Why would you choose me? When I know for a fact my oldest person, my oldest brother, or so-and-so over here, or whoever over there, they probably could have done a way much better job than me. But you gotta wrap your mind around it that he chose you. He didn't choose them. If he wanted them to do it, they would have done it. But he's chosen you to do something because it's tied to your purpose. You just have to understand your purpose. All right. I want to look at 4 people today. I want to look at Moses, Noah, Jesus, Paul. Well, 5 people. Moses, Noah, Jesus, Paul, then you. All right, so the first person that we're going to look at about being chosen to do something, lucky Moses. Moses was chosen to do something, and it was tied to his purpose. All right, so over 1,000 years after Abraham, the Jews were living as slaves in Egypt. Their leader was a prophet called Moses. And Moses led the Jews out of slavery in Egypt and led them to the Holy Land that God had promised them. And like these people had been in slavery for like 400 some years. Years. And Moses was the one who God called him one day to a bush and told him that I want you to lead my people to this land that I'm promising them. And Moses took on the challenge and he said, yes, Lord. He heard the call and he decided to do it. But the thing about that is, that ain't no cakewalk. It ain't no cakewalk to lead a group of people out of a place that they have been for hundreds of years to someplace new. And even on top of that, leading them somewhere that you ain't seen in the physical yet. God has just only told you about it. So you're leading them to a place and trusting him to tell you that, oh yeah, go here. Oh yeah, do that. Oh, this is actually the place. On top of hardships, on top of not having food, not having shelter, not having this, and then having the strain on your shoulders of, oh my God, I am leading these people somewhere that I'm only trusting somebody who I can't even see in the physical. That's some big stuff. But he was the one who was selected because he was the best and most appropriate. Some things about Moses, which will make you be like, if I was in his situations, that Moses had a stuttering problem. Like he stuttered when he talked. So he had to go tell Pharaoh that God told me to tell you to let these people go. On top of that, I stutter. I can't lead these people. There ain't no way you chose me. But God looked at his heart. And something else about that is he had to go face the person who was in charge of Egypt. He could have killed him on the spot. And he went time after time, after plague, and was like, God said, let my people go. God said, let his people go. God said, let his people go. Still, even after plague, Pharaoh was not biting. He did not let him go, but Moses had to stay dedicated to his purpose. He had to stay dedicated to what he was called to do. Something else, he had to lead them through things that seemed impossible. When they finally got the footwork to actually be let go, they got to this sea, and this had to get to the other side of the sea. How do you get through a sea with this group of people, these families, these bodies? And he had to take I can't think of it. You know what it is because I know you're saying it out loud. But he had to take it and stretch it out and separate the sea. But it wasn't, and here's the key thing, man, and this is the reminder for me. It wasn't off of his own strength. It was off the power of God that allowed him to be able to do that. And that's where the glory goes back to God, because it wasn't Moses, it was God who did it. The staff. He was able to take the staff and stretch it out to separate the sea so that the people that he were leading were able to get to the other side. God gave him the power, the stuttering man, the power to do something that seemed impossible to do. And that is the amazing, incredible thing about God when he has chosen you, because you are the only, man, this goes back to our video last week. You are the only one who can believe it. You are the only one who can accomplish it. You are the only one that can do it because you believe so hard on how to build it, how to create it. You see it in your mind and in your head, and God will give you the power when you ask, because your heart is in the right place. It will be possible. It will be so. Another killer thing about this is that on top of that, Moses went up to the mountain to pray with God and come down with his 10 commandments. And he was up there for a little minute. And you know something about people, like when they don't see the leader or whatever the case is, they get a little cranky, they get a little crazy. These people left worshiping Pharaoh to now worshiping God, Moses' God, Abraham's God. Get to Mount Sinai. I believe that's the mountain. I'll bring you more about that. I just want to make sure. Got to the mountain. Moses went up to the mountain and started worshiping and talking to God. God gave him the 10 commandments. And then Moses comes down after being up there for a little minute, a couple of days, to be honest. These fools have started worshiping an idol. They melted the gold that they had with them, made a fatty calf, and started worshiping the fatty calf instead of God. As a leader, how do you think Moses would have felt about that? Like I'm literally putting myself in his shoes. Like, so I just went up here to talk to the person who's helping us, who's providing manna, who's providing shelter or food and water to us out of nowhere. And I come back down and y'all have turned y'all back on him that quick. Like, that's a lot of that's a lot of energy. That's a lot for a person to feel. But Moses had to keep going because his purpose was tied to getting those people to the promised land. And something else about this is that they were in the wilderness 40 years. That's a long time. That's a long time to keep believing. That's a long time to keep trusting. That's a long time to keep going. But it's tied to the purpose. So ask yourself, how long are you going to keep believing? How long are you going to keep trusting? Are you going to give up because it's hard? Are you going to give up because the numbers ain't acting right? Are you about to quit? You can't quit. You're not going to quit. You will not quit. Say that now. I will not quit. Because you have put too much time and effort into building. You have put too much time and effort into growing the purpose and the plan that God has had for your life. And he chose you to do something great. So you're going to keep pursuing it. You're going to keep going after it. All right, let's get into Noah. All right, so when we look at our God Noah, God chose Noah to build an ark in Genesis 7:1. It took Noah, this is the crazy thing about this, God told Noah that I'm about to flood the world because they're corrupt. And that's God's whole big problem with us as people, is that our hearts, we are so corrupt, dude. Like, we are so corrupt. Like, our hearts are so, like, wicked. Like, it's just to keep that. Like, I'm going to give you something else that's really, really crazy, and this is off topic. I ask people a lot of times, how do y'all feel about a person who's black marrying a person who's white? And they don't agree with it, which is crazy. But it's like, if you erase the color, you'll realize that they're a person, there's a heart. And if you really just look at the heart of it, I'm just here to love. That's what God has called us to do. He's called us to love. Let me look at your heart as you as a human being. But when our mindsets are not in a place of love, we're very kind of threw off. And we have a lot of hatred and a lot of things inside of our heart towards people, and that we treat them in a way that's not the best. And that's why God be over us sometimes. That's why he was over the people, because of their corruption. So he says, I'm about to flood them. I'm about to flood them out because they're not worshiping me. They're worshiping idols. They're doing what they want to do. They're far from me. And he says, but Noah, I want you to build the ark, and I'll save you and your family. Take 2 of every animal so it can be on the ark, so you can go out and rebuild and grow it again. And Noah did it. He heard God, he believed it, and he went out to pursue it, to build it and do it. It took Noah 120 years to build this ark. And even on top of that, Noah had to go forth to teach and tell people about what was going to happen. And guess what? Nobody believed him in those 120 years. But he showed up every single day faithful to it. He showed up every single day to the cause to make it happen, to make it do what it was doing. Then, after it, the flood came. And finally, Noah was able to sense and feel what he had been working for so hard, finally manifesting, finally happening. And on top of that, too, his problem was, I'm not going to call him a drunk, but Noah liked to drink. He liked to have a few drinks. After he got off the boat, he started him a little vineyard, and he relaxed and enjoyed himself, maybe a little too much. But that was his problem. But God, still in the midst of whatever his problem or issue was, called him to do something great. So it doesn't matter what you lack or whatever your issue is, you can do something so great because God has chosen you to actually do it, to pursue it, to be it, to make it happen, build it, grow it, believe it. All right, then we get into my homeboy, my right-hand man, my guy. We get into the life of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right, so Jesus Christ came into the world to die for everybody. What? He came into the world to be the sacrifice for everybody's wrongs. During those time periods, God required a sacrifice for the wrongs of people because of the wickedness inside their heart. Everybody was wicked. So we needed somebody who was pure and clean, and they used animals during that time period. But he accepted the life of his only son, Christ, to be the sacrifice for the past as well as the present. Jesus Christ came, he had a mission, he had a purpose to go teach people about love, spread the love, and die. He did all of that. He started his mission at 30, his ministry at 30, and died at 33. His circle was super small. But it grew. He had a lot of followers. He had a lot of people supporting him. He had also had a lot of people hating on him too. And then in the midst of them hating on him, his mission and his purpose and what he was supposed to happen started to really pick up. And a lot of people who were supporting him turned their back on him. And then they told him, kill him, crucify him. And all of that was a part of his mission and his purpose. And he did it. You don't think that hurt? You don't think he got tired? But it was a part of his purpose and he had to pursue it to make it happen. All right, our last one is Paul. Paul was a part of the history of the laws of the church. He went out and he killed Christians and people who followed Christ. But then one day when he was on Damascus Road, Jesus Christ gave him an aha moment and said, stop killing my people. Actually, this is what I want you to go do. I want you to convert people over to be my followers. And Paul went and started a lot of churches, which are people actually, and converts over to Christianity. And he wrote majority of the New Testament of the Bible. Paul's purpose was to do that when people weren't accepting the Christian religion. They were actually killing you. They were stoning you and putting you in jail. He had a big purpose that he had to pursue, and God chose him to do it. So with these 4 minutes we got left, now we look at you. Young man, young woman, what is it that God is calling you to do? What has he chosen you to go build, to go grow, to go establish, to make happen? That is tied to your purpose, that only you can do. Because the younger version of you, they're waiting on you to create it. The younger version of you, they're waiting on you to make it happen. Lucky you, you are the chosen one to do it. You are the one who can walk in it. You are the one who are purposeful. You are the one who is called to do it. You're built to grow it. You will be great. You will accomplish it and you will make it happen, but you have to believe it. Don't give up on the purpose. Don't give up on the dream. Continue to pursue it. Continue to grow after it. Talk to God and let him surround you with people and the things you need. It may get hard. It may get difficult. But those that wait upon the Lord, they will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings of eagles. They will run and not get weak. You gotta keep pushing and gotta keep going after it. You gotta keep believing, because I am believing and trusting you to pursue it and make it happen. And I want to know what is your purpose. I want to know what it is that God is calling you and establishing you to do, because you will do it. Wherever you are, just take this moment as we all meditate and we just zone out as we say, thank you, God. Come into our hearts. Help us to turn away from all our wrongs and be all you have called us to be and do, in Jesus' name. Thank you guys for joining us today on this weekly podcast of The Journey. Man, there are some incredible things that God is calling us to do inside our lives, and he ain't calling us to be perfect, but he's definitely calling us to look at our hearts. Whatever flaw, whatever issue we have, man, God ain't worried about that. He's just worried about that call, because you have been selected to be the best candidate, the best person to pursue it and to make it happen. Please share this video. Tell somebody about our videos, our podcast. And always, 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 always remember that, man, our purpose, your purpose, it is so much bigger than you. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great week. Stay encouraged and be great.